What's up guys, JB2017 here, and today I'm doing something very different. We've been focusing on Fallout 4 non-stop since before release and way after. In fact, it's been 3 months to the exact day I checked since I've posted anything other than Fallout here on my channel. Up to this point, it probably seems like I only play one game, but rest assured I'm very excited for what 2016 has to bring us in terms of games. Today I wanted to make an old-fashioned commentary to talk with you all about Tom Clancy's The Division, which is a game I've been looking forward to for a while now. A lot of new information has surfaced in the past few days because a bunch of YouTubers had alpha access as well as media, and also the date for the beta has been announced, which is January 28th. And so all of this is kind of coming to a head right now, and so I thought it'd be a good point to start talking about The Division with my channel because it is something that I plan to cover in a big way. Like I said, I'm really excited about this game. So today I wanted to talk about really what is this game? What is The Division? What kind of label can we throw on this thing? Because we really do like to do that as a community. It reminds me of when Destiny came out in late 2014. We had this question of what is Destiny? Is it like the first MMO FPS? What kind of game is this? What kind of label can we put on it? And for the most part, I've noticed the same kind of trend with The Division. People are wondering, what kind of game is this? What can I expect? So I'll try to describe to the best of my ability with the knowledge that I have and the info that I've gathered exactly what The Division is. The best description sort of label that I can come up with for this game is that it's a third-person shooter with RPG elements. So really, I'm going to make a lot of comparisons here, and I want you to think both Borderlands and Destiny. There's a lot of things from both of those games that really kind of come together for what The Division is going to be, and what you can expect in terms of content, how long you're going to play it, how long it's going to keep your attention. So the first thing that I noticed is gun damage numbers. This is a big thing that kind of, I believe Borderlands was one of the first games to really bring it into the AAA space, but when you shoot an enemy, you see damage numbers. It's not just, you shoot them until they die, until they fall over. You're seeing damage numbers. And so that's a big thing with this game that I noticed very early on. That's a huge RPG element to this game. Very Borderlands, and of course Destiny after that. And with gun damage numbers, of course, there's going to be numbers on your gear. There's a ton of gear that you can equip for your character. There's certain weapons you can have. There's certain, pieces, arms, legs, all kinds of, masks and stuff like that. That's going to be in this game as well as this rarity idea. So there's a certain kind of tier of rarity. This is something I remember from Borderlands, like I've already mentioned, but it's been used in Destiny. It's been in like MMOs like World of Warcraft. It's kind of like a core thing over there. There's this idea that certain items you're going to find are more common than others, and therefore not as good. However, there are some very rare items that have a special color, and I believe in The Division, the best items you can find have like a gold color, and then it's like purple, blue, green, white, pretty much what we expect going down the scale. And so that's also present in this game, along with all of the stats that go along with gear. So since there's gear, that means there's looting. So we're going to be killing enemies and picking up guns from them or whatever else we can equip on our characters in order to make our characters better. Looting is a big RPG element, and that's definitely in The Division as well. Additionally, there's some crafting in this game. So if my memory serves me correct, I don't believe there's a ton of crafting in Destiny or Borderlands. However, it's definitely a presence in this game. You can find loot out in the world and then break it down if you're not going to use it, get certain materials, and use those materials to make new weapons and armor. That's definitely something we're going to be doing a lot in The Division. Moving on, this game also has level progression. So you are going to be leveling up from level 1 all the way to level 30. Not sure if they're going to increase that in the future, but that's what it is for right now. So we have this idea of experience, of killing enemies, getting experience from that, completing missions, quests, getting experience from that. These are very common RPG ideas, and of course with leveling up we also have character building. So this is something I actually didn't expect from this game. We have perks, talents, and even character abilities to further specialize and personalize our characters. However, this is not a class-based RPG, so you're not going to start at the beginning of the game and say, you know what, I'm going to be this kind of character. It's more fluid. So think about Skyrim. You guys remember Skyrim when you wanted to level up your one-handed swords or whatever it may be, then you would just use that, and that's how it would level up, and it was very fluid. In this game, it's a lot like that, but not like Skyrim in terms of, one-handers and whatnot. It's going to be more like you don't start out as a shoehorned class. You actually choose what you want to do as you level up. And from the gameplay that I've seen in the past few days, there's 3 classes that you can choose while you're leveling up. There's medical, which I can see it's kind of like a more defensive thing. You're healing whoever's with you if you have anybody with you, or you're healing yourself. There's tech, which seems a little more offensive. You use certain kind of tech to take down enemies or approach situations. And also there's security, which seems more defensive but in a different way, not healing yourself, but mitigating damage in the first place. So if you were to compare that system to the likes of Borderlands, Destiny, you have to choose your class early in that game and you're very defined. Your roles are very defined. In this game, it's a lot more fluid. There's also an end game, and they really have not talked about the end game of Division a lot. I don't know if we can expect like raids or instances where you go in with a certain party and then there's just really hard enemies and they drop better loot. That makes a ton of sense in my opinion, but I really haven't been able to dig up a lot of info about the end game, but there will be end game progression. So once you are, hitting level 30, apparently everything in the world gets harder and the dark zone gets more difficult. And that's something that's very attractive for me, because that's the thing about RPGs. Unfortunately, they draw you in while you're leveling up, but once you hit the highest level, how do they keep you interested? And that's something that I'm very interested to learn more about. Unfortunately, like I said, we don't have a lot of information right now, but once we do, I will be sharing that with you guys. Finally, the last exciting element that I'm talking about today is the PvP-enabled zone, which is called the Dark Zone. And this is an area of the game where it's every man for themselves. So if you go in with a group of 2 other people with you, you could essentially turn on them, take their stuff, and betray them. Or you could roll as a squad and kill everything in front of you, or you could try to make friends with people and see how that works out. That doesn't sound like the best strategy in my opinion, but this is a very cool idea. And also there's going to be proximity enabled chat. So that means when you're out in the world, you're in game chat with your headset on, if you come within a certain range of somebody, you'll be able to talk to them and they'll be able to hear you, which is a very cool prospect. You could do some very sneaky things. You could be a friend to somebody and then betray them in the end. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do with that. And apparently a lot of the best gear is in the Dark Zone, which is very compelling as well. So to kind of wrap up the main idea here, I believe this is my label for the game. I think this is a third-person shooter first, then it's an RPG, and then it's also online. So I would call it a third-person online RPG shooter, whatever. Some kind of combination of those words melded together makes the Division. I'm just very excited to play this game. And so a lot of the core elements, once again, remind me of Borderlands, but with the presentation style of Destiny. And I think this game has a sleeker interface, which is what Destiny goes for. Destiny's interface is very pretty. It's very nice to look at. It's very clean. I think we have kind of the same sleek user interface to mess around with in the Division. And also it's in a more realistic world. We're not really fighting aliens like you would in Borderlands or Destiny. This game is really going for realism in New York. There's a plague. I'm not really sure about the story. I'm gonna have to brush up on that and maybe make a video for you guys in the future. But essentially, way more realism. That's what they're going for with this game. And I can't wait to play it. So I'd like to know in the comments below, how would you label the Division? How would you label this game? Or do you think it even needs a label? Should it just be, you know what, if you're playing the Division, this is the kind of game you're going to get. It's a unique experience. We don't really need to compare it to other games. I totally get that point of view as well. And also let me know, are you excited for this game? Are you going to play the beta? Is this something you're interested in? Share all of that below. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video today, doing something different once again, and I really do plan on mixing it up a little bit more than I have been. It's not just going to be Fallout from here on out. It's going to be mixed in with a little bit of the Division, and maybe some Hitman when that comes out as well. We'll see. But I hope you guys enjoyed something different today, and if you did, remember to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it, and I will talk to you next time. Peace!